we would like to know a little more about the Yucatan Brotherhood. Perhaps I'll tell you a story as I close, right? Now I close with a story, may I? Evoked to my mind by this question about the Yucatan Brotherhood. Some of you may know it. It was told me by an American Indian chief when I was living for a time in the region of the Rio Grande near Santa Fe, and was privileged to have some contact with the high priest, if you may so call it, of one of the tribes. And because their inner wisdom has been so wrongly treated, scorned and laughed at by ourselves, they retain their deeper knowledge very severely from such treatment. However, for a time, this particular Indian high priest of one of the villages told me this story about, I think it was 800 years ago. His village and the surrounding area became plunged into the evil of black magic. And the local chiefs were unable to check it. It spread to become an extreme danger. And so the elders of the tribe, it was on the banks of the Rio Grande, got together and they sent up a prayer to the inner spiritual elders in whom they firmly believe. And by the by, as he talked to me, I realized that this concept of the true elders who guide the tribes is the same as, or very close to that, of the masters of the wisdom of whom we've been thinking together this morning. And so the human elders of the tribe got together and uttered a prayer. In response, as they believed, there appeared from the south a very beautiful young man. He arrived, told the elders he'd come in answer to their prayer and would try to cure the region of black magic. His name was Poseyeimo. 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 You'll find it in American Indianology. Well, Poseyeimo came and he drew the tribal people all around him, and he had amongst others a remarkable faculty, that of oratory, to a very high degree, and so great was his oratory that he won them over, away from the black magic to a pure life, and virtually cleared the region. He then left, went northwards, and I was told by some Indianologists that he may have been the one of whom Longfellow writes, who visited the more northerly tribes. However, unhappily, there was one tribe in this original region which wasn't wholly convinced, and within which the black magic practices began again and endangered the district. Again the prayer was uttered, and again Poseyeimo came. Tall, beautiful young man. Again he drew them all around him, and again, with his wonderful oratory, finally won them all over to the banishment of this evil amongst the tribes. What happened to Poseyeimo? This is partly legend and myth, of course. Well, one evening, after success, he was attending a home, and there was a certain festivity. And he went out for some fresh air. And on the roof there was the power by which he traveled, symbolized by an eagle, a great eagle. And this eagle was there on the roof. And he called him and warned him, "You should leave now, for there is a plot by one or two only to destroy you by poison this night." So Poseyeimo mounted his eagle. You can translate that into the real meaning. Mounted his eagle and flew thereupon right down the valley of the Rio Grande, blessing the villagers as he went, till finally he disappeared to the south. One part of the legend says into the Gulf of Mexico. But the student of theosophy, and I'm answering your question now, would conceive that he really came, was a messenger from the Brotherhood of Yucatan, which is still there, from which doubtless he came to help the tribes, and which I understand from various sources is still active on behalf of this part of our globe. And that, friends, is all I can tell you on that subject.